Oh, here we go. Classic political word games. Notice the lawyerly alone? That's the kind of wiggle word you drop when you're trying to weasel out of responsibility without outright lying. Like, I didn't eat the whole pizza. Alone. Please, and let's be real here. If you're tossing out that qualifier every 5 seconds, you're hiding something. Republicans do this all the time. They can't just give a straight yes or no, because honesty would blow up their whole narrative. So instead, they dodge, they squirm, they turn hearings into some kind of gotcha Olympics. And honestly, this is rich coming from the same crowd that screams about weaponization of government every time Trump gets investigated for, crimes. But when it's about purging the FBI of anyone who touched the January 6th insurrection or the Mar-a-Lago classified documents heist, suddenly they're allergic to clear answers. Funny how that works.
No one at the FBI is terminated for case assignments alone.
Well, I'm asking about you, Mr. Patel. Did you, in whole or in part, terminate anyone at the FBI because they worked on the Trump investigation or because they worked on January 6th?
No one at the FBI has been terminated for case assignments alone.
Okay, you're saying alone. Does that mean they were terminated in part because they were assigned to a January 6th case or assigned to the Mar-a-Lago case?
Did you catch that? I don't have to answer your question because you're setting up a trap. That's not how oversight works, buddy. That's literally the whole point of oversight, to hold people accountable with tough, direct questions. This is like a kid caught with chocolate all over his face saying, "You're just setting a trap with that cookie question." No, you just ate the damn cookie. Man. And I love how conservatives cry about cancel culture if someone gets called out on Twitter, but when it comes to career FBI agents getting axed because they investigated Trump or his insurrectionist buddies, suddenly it's fine. Nothing to see here. Meritocracy? Rule of law? Nah, loyalty to dear leader comes first. This is Banana Republic stuff dressed up in bad suits.
Yes or no? You're not answering my question.
I don't have to answer your question yes or no because you're setting up a trap so you...
Yes, the Epstein Black Book. Cue the conspiracy sirens. Republicans loathe bringing this up, but only in the most convenient, selective way. They want to whisper about shadowy elites, but they somehow always skip over the fact that Epstein was literally rubbing elbows with Trump for decades. Like, go Google Trump Epstein Mar-a-Lago parties. It's not a mystery, folks. But here's the kicker. These guys act like the FBI is personally hiding names to protect Democrats, when in reality, administrations from both parties failed to fully pursue Epstein's network. And yet, every time Republicans want to pretend like it's only the Bidens, the Clintons, or the Obamas. Meanwhile, they conveniently forget the guy who actually appointed Epstein's sweetheart deal prosecutor into Trump's own cabinet. So, yeah, spare me the faux outrage. If they really wanted accountability, they'd be dragging their own billionaire donors and Trump world pals into the spotlight too. But no. Easier to deflect and shout deep state than to admit their movement has its own creeps to answer for.
In 2024, you were asked by Glenn Beck about Epstein's Black Book. And you said, he asked, who has Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book? And you said, Black Book FBI. And he said, but who? That is, I mean theirs. And you said, oh, that's under the direct control of the director of the FBI. That's what you said. Was that true, Mr. Patel?
I'll rely on you quoting it accurately. I did that a couple
Was it
years
true
ago.
what you represented to Mr. Beck and the president's supporters out there, or were you lying? Was it true that the Black Book, Epstein's Black Book, was in the possession of the FBI director?
The Black Book was in the possession of the FBI.
This part absolutely infuriates me. Survivors of trafficking have testified, over and over, about powerful men being involved. And what do these so-called law and order Republicans do? They gaslight, they dismiss, they muddy the waters. Think about it. The same people who claim to be crusading against child predators online are now suddenly super quiet when it comes to the powerful elites actually implicated. They'll demonize drag queens reading books to kids, but billionaires flying teenagers to private islands? Suddenly, the evidence is not credible. Give me a break. It's hypocrisy on steroids. And the cruelty of it all? Survivors get re-traumatized while politicians use their stories as political footballs. That's the real disgrace.
Because there are victims like Virginia Giuffre who have testified otherwise, who have said otherwise, and you're telling the American people today that the Epstein list is a single name and it's Jeffrey Epstein.
The meltdown. When all else fails, go full WWE promo. Just scream fraud, buffoon, coward, and hope your base eats it up. This isn't testimony anymore. This is Fox News audition tape. Here's the thing. Conservatives love to accuse Democrats of theater, but look who's turning Senate hearings into reality TV. They can't answer simple oversight questions, so they resort to shouting insults like high school bullies. And honestly, it's embarrassing, but it's also dangerous, because it erodes faith in institutions. If the FBI director is up there ranting like a talk radio host, the takeaway for millions of viewers is that oversight itself is illegitimate. Which, surprise, surprise, is exactly what Trump and MAGA world want.
You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Republicans will bend over backwards to protect Trump, even if it means purging career FBI agents. They'll invoke Epstein not to fight for survivors, but to score cheap political points while ignoring their own party's skeletons. And when they're cornered, they default to insults and conspiracy theories instead of accountability. Meanwhile, real issues, climate change, healthcare, reproductive rights, democracy itself, get buried under this performative nonsense. Here's my take. If you actually care about justice, equality, and protecting kids, you don't side with billionaires and wannabe dictators. You fight for transparency across the board, no matter whose name is in the Black Book. You fight for democracy, not for Trump's fragile ego. And honestly, if this hearing proved anything, it's that the biggest threat to America isn't some deep state.